Okay, in this video we will set a little bit of word for us to use, and this will be just placeholder environment just to play test, player movement, and other details, and it won't be our actual environment, obviously. So here you see just the basic default scene that we have. So first thing that we will create is the plane in order our player to walk on. So let's go in the empty space of the hierarchy panel, right click, and here we will find 3D objects, and we can use plane basically. And this plane is quite small, so what I will do, I will make it bigger by 10 on the X, and on the Z also 10. And this plane is too wide, and our directional light is also too intensive. And to change the color of the plane, we need to create material, because if we select the plane, as you see in the inspector, it doesn't have any kind of color component inside. And in 2D games, for example, there are color elements in the inspector, so you can change it directly from the inspector. But in 3D games, here is how we can change the colors. So first thing, for better organization, let's create a new folder, and let's call it materials, and this will be for our materials. So every game object has some kind of material, and in order to change color, we need to create new material for our plane. So let's go in the assets folder, right click, create, and here we will find material, and let's call it ground. Now we can change color of the material from here, but first let's assign this color material to our ground, and it's very simple. We just need to drag and drop it into our ground, and nothing is really changed just yet, but it's already there. So now if we change color on the material, as you see, our color changes as well. So we can go in the game view and see how it looks like, and I think it's better. Also, we will take directional light, and we will decrease intensity a bit, just like on the 0.8, so that we will see every object a little bit better. All right, now let's create some cubes in order for our to test our player movement basically. So let's create a 3D object cube, and we should make this cube bigger. So I will select my rect tool. Let's zoom in, and you can also click F to zoom even farther to your game object. And let's just make this game object bigger, and just like this. We can obviously change the scaling from here as well. We can make it bigger or smaller or whatever. Let's create one more cube, and let's take move tool, and let's take it out. And I want to have some kind of platform to go up. So first of all, let's make this cube little bit larger, just like this, and bigger also. And then we will rotate this game object basically. So to rotate, we can use this rotation scaling in the transform element basically. This X will rotate horizontally, so we don't need it. This Y will rotate vertically, so we also don't need it, and we want to rotate it by Z. So let's rotate it like so. Let's take it a little bit down. Okay, we need to make this platform larger, I think. It's like this, and then we can rotate it even more, and I think it will be fine. Okay, well, I will take this little bit down. Now we have a very basic setup. As you see, we have these cubes, and our player can move on them. And let's see in the game view how they how they look like. And as you see, we are not able to see them at all, almost, because of how our main camera is positioned right now. And we can always change how our main camera and where our main camera is at the specific moment and when game starts, obviously, and we will do it. But first, let's create some materials for these cubes. So let's create material and let's call it cube. Let's assign this cube here, and let's change color to be something else. And also we will do same for here. We will use same material for that as well. Now, first thing that we should do, we should select our main camera, and here is our main camera. And we can basically move our main camera with these arrows. And here we see how our game looks like. So we can move it a little bit, just like this. And now we will be able to see our world a little bit better. And I think I like this scene so far. So now it's time to work on our player and player movement. Now we will add some actual player model later, but first we will make some player movement and movement mechanics in general, also jumping and so on. We have a lot to do. And for that, for the prototyping, we will use 3D object capsule. So to create capsule, we just need to go in the empty space of the hierarchy panel, 3D object, capsule. And where is our capsule? Let's see. And let's take our capsule out and let's zoom in. We can click F. Let's take it up a little bit, just like this. Now we have the capsule and let's call it player. And this player should have few components in order everything to work. And let's scroll it up. And yeah, we are able to see. We can also create material for our player just to see it better as well. So let's call it player. We will assign this material to player game object and we will change it to something like blue maybe. Yeah, blue will work fine. Okay, now we have this basic setup. So we can save our scene. So we need to go and click this three dot, save scene. And in the scenes folder, you can name your scene anything that you want. For example, I will name it test and let's save our scene.